Ian, we haven't spoke to you since you were appointed as commercial director at Huddersfield Town. I can imagine it's been a bit of a whirlwind the first 2 months, but I have to start with the big development, the big commercial development that we've recently heard about. A Utilita obviously being confirmed as our front of shirt sponsor for the next 3 years. Talk us through how happy you are with that deal.
Yeah, thanks, Anna. I think first and foremost, delighted, in the short period of time to get that, that agreement over the line, because, not just the financial benefits for the club, but, it's a great brand. It's got a real strong community focus, and I've picked up in the 8 weeks I've been here the emphasis that the club has on its community and the relationships with its fans. And I think having a partner that's going to engage with the supporters and give something back to the community is a delight for us, because a lot of it can be used as a shop window in times, and it's brilliant for us to get that over the line. And I think it's to add not just the pandemic and what the challenges it's brought to us as a club and every football club or every business, is that a lot of clubs are going to be in the same position in the summer. And I think for us to get our business done and agree a partnership of this level in a short period of time and very early on is testament to us and our process and the club, really.
Yeah, I was going to say, obviously it's a difficult financial climate with COVID-19. Businesses aren't wanting to spend as much cash as they wanted to a couple of years ago, and like you say, there'll be clubs and lots of clubs in the Sky Bet Championship looking for a front of shirt sponsor for next year. So for us to get it done early is real testament to the hard work of you and your team. Yeah,
I think coming into a new business in this climate, it was always going to be tough, and the campaign that I give credit to the campaign that we've done this year as a club in challenging times, to give a platform to local businesses in recognition of their support to the club, and the charity elements that we've done, that the chairman has done with the charities on the away kits, again just reinforces that. And I think the community angle, we have to be excited around Utilita and their ethos and how they go about activating their sponsorships. I've got a tremendous relationship with them, going back to previous clubs that I've worked with, and I know what they're about, I know how they activate, and I think we're a really good fit for them.
Yeah, and financially, you mentioned it's a difficult climate for football clubs up and down the country. We made a big deal around the fact that this season, the 2021 campaign, we weren't going to accept something that we thought devalued the brand, wasn't below our expectations. Does this deal meet that?
Yeah, it does. And I think, in light of us getting our business done early, we're very happy with, the commercial benefits, but also the longevity that it gives us around, a national brand, working with them on their objectives and activating that with and for the fans. But, again, we can't discount the fact that Huddersfield Town is still a strong commercial proposition for brands and businesses, not just locally and regionally, but nationally as well. And we have to look at how we proposition ourselves in what, as we have described, as a challenging climate. But there are businesses out there that are activating their own budgets in different ways, and we just have to be a little bit smarter in the way that we proposition ourselves. And quite rightly, the club has been in the Premier League for 2 years. We've got a tremendous supporter base, a loyal supporter base, strong average attendances, but also strong social media reach. And again, we just have to look at different ways that we can engage with brands, not just our front of shirt sponsor, but brands collectively on what is a fantastic football club.
Yeah, and I suppose one way that we've done that earlier this year is through the partnership with Sportsbroker. Fans will have seen them on social media assets, on things on HTTV, on the back of the shirts as well. And you got that deal done within your first month of being here.
Yeah, again, that was, a quick turnaround for us. But we recognised very quickly that there was a strong synergy between our brand and their objectives, and we aligned those very quickly. We managed to get a short-term deal in place with them, and they are a challenger brand to what is a new emerging market, and it's very exciting for us as a football club to be recognised, to be working with brands like Sportsbroker in that category. And it's, the gambling space and the kind of trading space is somewhat sometimes negatively viewed, and I think we have to look at this as a very positive position for us as a club to continue to achieve our revenue aspirations.
Yeah, because I can imagine the first 2 months, like I said, has been a bit of a whirlwind for you, but you've got two big deals done. How much have you learned about the club, the reach, businesses around the local area as well?
Yeah, I think it's always hard coming into a new environment, not just a football club, but having the challenge of working remotely and working from home, and every now and again being able to come into the stadium. That's been a big challenge, but I think one thing that I wanted to get up to speed with very quickly is the size of the club, the size of our reach, the size of our fan base, and how that aligns with brands outside of the region. And that was an area that I identified very quickly, that we do a tremendous job as a football club engaging with previous campaigns, like the Huddersfield 100, for example, where it creates a platform for local businesses. What I don't want to do is alienate those local businesses. We're still going to provide a platform for those businesses to be here and share those experiences with us on match day. But I think having those, as I said, those 2 years in the Premier League and the size of the club, I don't think we were propositioning ourselves in the right way to national brands around what a football partnership could actually do for them. And that's where my strength's been in the clubs that I've worked for previously. A lot of people would say I'd come with a big club mentality, and that wasn't the case. Those processes and the ways of working were very relative to here, and we just needed to position that in a different way. So that first few weeks was very important for me to understand the club, the size, the reach, talking to you guys of how we communicate to our fans and what the commercial benefits to that are in what is going to be, again, a very challenging time for us, generating an increase in commercial revenue.
And you mentioned previous clubs that you've been at. How can you use your experience and your contacts, relationships from those clubs at Huddersfield Town?
Yeah, I think I'd like to say I'd had a good, strong 10, 11 years in a well-rounded commercial background in football, and those experiences of what I've done at previous clubs have been tremendous in helping me in my early days here, and I'm sure that the short, medium and long-term benefits will also come with that. But we've got some more exciting partnerships in the pipeline that we're working on, that I'm sure will contribute to us and help the success of the club to be sustainable. But again, every club is going to have its own challenges, and we're no different to that.
Yeah, you mentioned the word sustainable just then. Obviously, like we mentioned, in this time, because of COVID-19, the impact it's having, revenues around football clubs have been depleted because we can't get supporters into the stadium. How important do you see commercial revenue for the club in a time like this?
Oh, it's absolutely paramount, and again, it's not so much about just increasing the revenues by making us a more expensive entity. We still have to deliver relative commercial value right across the board. But again, it's going to take some time for us to recover from that. But again, we want to be making sure that the doors are open for everybody, whether that be from an entry-level business right up to our shirt sponsor. We feel we can offer tremendous value, and we have to continue to do that whilst also maintaining that sustainable element of driving the commercial revenues, making stronger commercial revenues. And I think we're making a lot of progress in a short period of time of generating ideas and ways that we can generate that additional revenue. So I'm excited to continue that development, and hopefully we can share some of that before the start of the season.
Yeah, like you say, there's been a lot happening in a short space of time since you've been here. What are your aims for commercial and for Huddersfield Town going forwards?
I think the biggest aim is to continue the success that we've had commercially on that local and regional level, continuing to maintain those relationships, grow those relationships. But the biggest thing is, as I've touched on, is making people outside of the region, on a national or international scale for that matter, aware of what the value of Huddersfield Town can offer as a football club, as an engagement platform, and as a turnkey marketing solution for their objectives. And that's where my strength is, and I'll hopefully continue to create that internally, and we can continue to build and make stronger commercial revenues from that.
Yeah, it's been an excellent couple of months. Welcome to Huddersfield Town.
Thank you.